Hi everybody, I'm Dee.
And I'm Jay, and we are ParoDeeJay.
ParoDeeJay.
And we are here with a wrap-up video for Bahia Principe Grand Tulum.
That's a mouthful.
I know, I always have to stop and think because I want to say like grand first. I don't know.
No.
Anyway, got my notes on my phone as usual. So, and we broken it down in categories very similar to when we wrapped up last time.
Yeah.
So this is, we're in for another little bit of a long video. Not as many words this time, I think. But just
super informative, so stick around.
Exactly. We're going to try to answer all the questions that have been asked to us, give you all the information that our brains gathered from our 8-night stay. But look down in the description. I'm going to try to break it into categories and put timestamps as to when we talk about specific subjects. Because, you know, sometimes these videos go on for 20, 30 minutes.
You're nice.
You're in for a nice little chat with us today. So, this was another all-inclusive resort that we went to, which means all your food, all your drink, all your alcohol drinks, all that stuff was included. A couple of exceptions, like, you know, you could buy extra bottles of wine and stuff like that. But for the most part, everything was included. The resort had been recently renovated. I had not followed as much. You did more research on that. I know they just reopened November 15th, 2020, and we went about 2 weeks after they reopened.
So they redid like almost, I think, all the public spaces. The pool stayed the same, things like that. They redid a good number of rooms. All of the suites were redone, and a good chunk of the junior suites.
The one we stayed in was one of them that was renovated.
Yeah, and they added a restaurant that used to be part of the buffet, which we'll get into later, I think, and then changed the concepts on a few restaurants. And then the beach area had like a snack bar, which became the food truck.
Right, which we'll get into,
some of that
random stuff. So let's start with food options, because that's always my favorite. Going meal by meal. Breakfast, obviously they had breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the buffet that you could get, just grab and go. I think we said
that's the only.
I think that's the only option for like breakfast or certain meals like that.
I believe so.
I think I said in the video series that you had to wear long pants to the buffet, which I think was incorrect. I'm pretty sure you don't need long pants. I just did for dinner because I want to wear sock of the day. So pretty sure it's obviously more casual.
Right,
I don't
for
think
the
they're
buffet. I definitely saw people wearing not, you know, long pants.
Yeah, they wore clothes.
No, I'm just kidding.
You never know. Your lunch options, you had the truck snack bar, that little food truck concept, which was new, and Andale Burger.
Yeah. We
don't talk much about Andale Burger because Andale Burger hurt us.
I think it's reopening actually by the time the video will be coming out. And another thing we saw on the schedule was it did say in some of the a la carte restaurants that they serve breakfast and lunch. So maybe when they're at full capacity, because they have huge outdoor seating, they might do smaller buffets. We just don't know because it wasn't happening then.
When we were there, the only breakfast option was the buffet. And the only lunch options were like the food truck or Andale Burger or the buffet. Obviously, buffet is always open. Yeah, there was some conflicting information between like their web app and some other stuff, and I think it's just because 2020, these are confusing times.
They're doing the best they can.
They are. Dinner, you have the 4 a la carte restaurants to choose from in addition to the buffet. You've got Tequila and La Gran Tortuga, which are more all-you-can-eat concepts. Really good. You've got Hindu Thali and Don Pablo, which are sort of fixed menu, you know, 1 app, 1 soup, 1 entree, 1 dessert type concept. Yeah. So tell me words about food. Where do you want to start?
Food was good. Like, I don't have a complaint on a single item I ate.
I don't think I do either.
Other than maybe like a burger. But
well, that was the food truck. All right, we're done talking about the food truck. The food truck burger was not our favorite.
It's not our favorite, and we're not super picky. But otherwise, it was fantastic. The a la carte restaurants were so good. All of them were really good. My favorite was probably Don Pablo because of that darn Don Pablo salad. It was so surprising. So right up my alley.
Because when I heard the 4 concepts, Don Pablo was at the bottom of the list, but it quickly worked its way up to the top. I still think I give Hindu Thali, the Indian restaurant, the top spot.
Good. It was very authentic. Yeah, all of the food was really, really tasty though. No issues.
Yeah, so it's funny, we both picked a non-buffet concept for our favorite. I mean, I loved tequila because you could try so many things. Pozole, tacos, tostadas. I mean, there was just all sorts of stuff to try. And I mean, Brazilian steakhouse is meat.
See, I'm not a huge meat eater. I like the Brazilian steakhouse, but if I had to like not do one, I would probably choose that one. But it was still really good.
Yeah, funny thing is, like if we went back and we could only pick 3, I would probably also skip the Brazilian steakhouse. I like meat, but I like the other 3 restaurants better. But
me too.
The Brazilian steakhouse was good.
It was very good.
But so I probably would go Hindu Thali, tequila, Don Pablo, Brazilian steakhouse. That's me.
Don Pablo, Hindu Thali, tequila, Brazilian steakhouse.
But they're all good.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with any of them, honestly. And eating on the buffet, because you don't get an a la carte every night.
The buffet was good and had a lot of stuff, and there were like lots of fresh stations where they were making you pastas or Mongolian wok type things, omelets in the morning. Yeah. There were a lot of fresh stuff going on.
It was sushi. They had sushi, for crying out loud.
Yeah. So surprised by the buffet as well. Just pointing out again, because of 2020, there are currently no paper menus. You do scan a QR code. They have a web app that they do everything on here, and you get your menus, make your reservations that way, and all that sorts of stuff.
Make sure you carry your phone, basically.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
You might not be informed.
Done on the web app. You can keep up with your scheduling and all that. A lot of.
Yeah.
There is no room service that we could find at this resort. I don't know. We're going to talk a little bit. They do have like a privilege club, which is a higher level. I don't know. We didn't do a lot of research about the privilege club.
Because we weren't in it, so.
But yeah, there was no room service to be had for us. There is a mini bar in each room, which is refilled daily, and that. I would say snacks and drinks, but they didn't have snacks by default. We requested.
No, he asked us if we wanted some.
That's true, and he brought us some potato chips.
Yeah, that was really nice.
But by default, it has your drinks in it, and you can tell them things you like and things you don't like, and customize your minibar experience.
If they have it. And
it was refilled daily. Well, that's true. If you say, give me some Dom Perignon up in there, he's probably not going to. The a la carte restaurants, as I said before, they did offer a pay wine list, so you could buy special bottles of wine, and you could charge that to your room.
Yeah, we did.
So interesting, you had your little wristband. Well, I guess they used the wristband, or they just took your room number. But yeah, they would.
Scanned.
That's right. And they could charge it to your room, and you pay when you check out.
Really awesome.
That was kind of cool. That was the end of my food section, unless you think of any other food. I know we had that one.
Dress code for the a la cartes is long pants for men, closed-toed shoes, and then ladies, they don't have one, but don't wear a swimsuit or anything you wouldn't wear to like around your house. No, I don't know. To work.
Dress nice and wear funky socks. That's my advice.
There you go.
And then they did have that one weird like chicken lunch out by the pool one day. Because I think, was that a Saturday or a Sunday? It was a weekend day. And they had like chicken on the grill, just randomly. It wasn't even advertised that I saw. It just showed up. They're like, hey guys, chicken.
But they have like a setup where they can serve food from there. So that was really nice to see.
Maybe they used to do that more often and now it's just kind of special. Anyway, let's move on to bars, because everybody wants to talk bars.
Yeah.
The main bar that we hung out in, I would say the most and had the most fun in, was the lobby bar. It's a whole separate building next to the lobby.
I know, it's weird.
You get live music in there. It was almost like a mini theater. I didn't think of it as like, hey, this is a bar. Like I hear lobby bar and I think, okay, one little section.
It's not actually part of the lobby.
Yeah, it's a separate building.
Which is really cool.
Anyway, but live music on the stage, karaoke, they had all sorts of entertainment going on.
They had a coffee section, and I think you could go in the morning and they would make coffee for you, and I think you could even do like espressos and stuff like that. We didn't try it. I believe that's the case.
Yeah, we didn't. That looks good.
Yeah.
The central pool bar, obviously, which is the one that has the swim up option, so you can approach from the land, by land or by sea. They hang one lantern if it's by land. No, that's just kidding.
Down in the pool, or go up around the bridge and up to the actual bar.
Yeah, now the pool bar was not, I mean, the swim up bar was not open most days we were there. We saw it open a couple of times, but it might be because it was just chilly or just because of 2020.
Less people.
You've got a little pool bar over near the quiet pool that you can go to.
That was nice.
There's a pool bar over next to the truck that you can get stuff from. And then there's the theater bar.
Which was not open.
Okay, well, our cat is going to come join this video. You can come up here and help spread. No, he didn't go, so he doesn't have a lot of information. That's really all the bars I noted. I'm sure there are more bars, probably bars in the restaurant, but those are most of the main approachable
you still get
bars.
Drinks in the restaurant.
And then they also have those little beverage stations. Like there's one over by the truck, there's one by the kids area. I think they're all over the place.
Yeah.
There's no shortage of places.
You can find a drink pretty much anywhere you go.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
And then I'm trying to, I know the lobby bar offered people, waiters and waitresses roaming around taking your orders. They didn't really do any like pool side.
They even came outside at night. If you were just sitting there, they'd be like, would you like a drink? I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so that was good to see.
Yeah.
That's all I have for bars. Any other bar?
No, they didn't actually. They do have menus for the bars, which we discovered later, because sometimes you don't know what you want to drink. So there's like a little section that you can click on and see that when you're at the resort.
Editing me, put the links to the PDF menus down in the thing. It's fine. It's just links. I can copy and paste. Editing me can
But it's helpful because I don't always know what I want, and then there's descriptions of what each bar would serve. So that was cool.
Yeah, because I never know to order like a dirty monkey, or I don't know these things.
I'm like, stick with Diet Coke and Malibu.
Coke. Yeah, I'm very boring when it comes to my drinks.
Less calories.
Next up is water features, because we always like to talk about it too. Now, obviously, the biggest, baddest water feature is the beach. It's a real long stretch of beach.
Pretty.
A little bit rocky.
Little bit rocky.
Wear them water shoes.
Definitely take water shoes. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, but...
And it's very shallow.
True.
Unless you get past the wave breaks, which I sort of did, but it was really wavy.
Yeah,
so.
It was hard to find places for a 6'5" me to get down and even have my shoulders in the water. But you saw a good number of fish out there.
There are fish I saw.
Nice
a little small stingray. So, I mean,
That's
just
right.
over by the wave breaks, obviously, they like to hide in there, and really cool stuff.
Good little free snorkeling
You never know what
place.
you'll see.
Yeah, so that's water feature number 1.
Yes.
The pools we mentioned before, but you do have the central pool, which is actually 3 pools.
Hello.
There's the cat. I knew he'd come in here. There's the central pool, which there was kind of like the lower down one where they did activities. There's the one that was a little bit more sporty with a volleyball net in it, and there was one that was a little quieter because there was nothing fancy in it.
Yeah. And then they had the kids area that had like a little fence around it.
Oh,
the
true.
Shallower area.
Most every pool.
Except for the quiet pool. Oh no, they did too.
They did.
All of them did.
Yeah. So like you said, there's the quiet pool, which is the quiet pool.
It's not an adults only pool. It's just a quiet pool.
It has the little valley beds, which were free to use.
Yeah.
There's what I'm going to call it the family pool. I called it our pool when we were there because we lived next to it, but let's call it the family pool.
Yeah.
With the little water park.
So cute.
That's new, right?
Yeah, the water park is brand new. They did a fantastic job with all the features. It'll keep your kids entertained for a long time. And then they have a splash pad also. And like a jungle gym area. I was going to say fitness center.
Like,
what do you call it?
Yeah,
playground.
it is like a playground
kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't even really show that very well, I don't think.
You did not, but
you
it's there.
Almost got a bucket dumped on your head. So editing me, oh, the cat just jumped, holy moly.
Scared
Editing me, if you find that video of her almost getting a bucket dumped on her head, please put that in here.
It was great, really nice for families.
Yeah. So that's the pools. Oh, and I did say, yeah, each pool had a fenced off shallow area for like children to be relegated in. That's fine. And then some of the pools had little bubbly whirlpools next to them. They're not hot.
What we learned in Mexico is they're not hot tubs or
hot.
jacuzzis as we would think of, you know, here or other parts of the world. They're
bubbly.
like bubbly parts in the pool. They're about like maybe a little bit warmer because they're shallower, but that's it.
Yeah.
Don't expect a hot tub.
Yeah. But that was it for water features.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Entertainment and miscellaneous facilities, because this is where I put everything else that I couldn't think of. Lots of daily activities.
Yeah.
I was excited by the activity schedule at this place. Pool games, sports, even like the shows in the evenings. Just
live music.
all that stuff.
Trivia.
So much music.
It was really good.
Yeah, well, like we said, this was probably the closest experience we had to being on a cruise that we found on land just because of the number of shows, activities.
Yeah.
They did have the lobby bar for live music, obviously, with the little stage.
Yep.
The theater, which of course, grown folk shows, little kid folk shows.
Goodness, it was so good. I love the fact that they did kid shows too. The kids could get involved, the parents could go and watch. It was a great family atmosphere.
Yeah.
I love that.
All the non-branded, anyway. There's the gym and the spa, which we did not really check out.
We saw them.
Yeah, we saw the spa from the outside. We passed by the gym. I don't think I ever recorded it.
You had to go by appointment, so we just didn't plan on doing
Nobody
that.
wants to go to the gym on vacation, okay?
A lot of people do.
They had a kids club over by the family pool. They had a teens club right there by the theater.
Both look super cute. We didn't film, obviously, because there's kids. We did show the
Teens club. Teens club we did a little bit. Oh yeah, Hacienda Doña Isabel. There's a whole nother world we have to talk about. So it was mostly closed while we were there, but what is at... So you did more research about that than I did.
Yeah, so it's vendors outside and in their stalls, and they sell their local goods. It's also a nightclub, apparently, in the non-COVID times.
In non-2020.
Non-2020. There's a casino. There's the health and medical facilities there. I think there's a pharmacy there as well.
Oh, I did see that on Google.
And they do a lot of like night shows there. I guess when it's hopping and busy, they wouldn't necessarily put them at your individual resort. They'd probably do a big one and everybody could go.
Yeah, it's kind of a shared community type area from the 4 resorts we'll talk about here in a hot minute.
We've joined Facebook groups. That's how you learn a lot more about things. Go research whatever you're looking for in a Facebook group and you get all kinds of questions answered.
That is correct.
But it looks really cool.
Yeah, so we did not explore that too much.
We
rode by it on a golf cart. Speaking of golf cart transportation was my last item on this list. In that I didn't see a whole lot of like golf car stops is the funny thing. Like normally you'll see, they had some, but the golf cart would just be coming down the road and if you were walking, he would just stop and say, where do you want to go? Can I take you somewhere? So they would just pick you up anywhere and take you anywhere, which was kind of awesome.
Yeah, the property's not huge though. It's long, but I've seen some other properties that are massive, and this one wasn't too big. I didn't feel overwhelmed. If you were staying, you know, if you're trying to walk from one to the other, maybe that'd be big.
Yeah, we made it through the entire property other than getting down to where the dolphin area used to be. Now, I'm told the dolphin area is closed and I don't think it's reopening. But we didn't make it down to that far, but we saw most of the rest of the property. My next section is talking about the different levels, which there's like one that I know of, and the sister resorts. So getting into all of these connections. So there is a thing that I don't know too much about called the Privilege Club, Privilege Level. I believe it's some kind of a vacation ownership program within the Bahia thingamajiggy.
Family.
And you just get privilege stuff, like cool metal chairs that you can sit in.
Egg chairs. You have, like, I think you have a separate check-in. There's, like, a different, like, little building that you can go, and they have, like, probably premium drinks and snacks and stuff like that.
We're just guessing, because
I tried to go in there and look at it.
You did. You need to stop that.
I believe that is accurate, though.
Yeah.
And they make it room service? I don't know.
I know.
If you know.
If you know about the Privilege Club, please let us know.
Yeah.
I know, but we don't know. Anyway.
Oh, and they have their own section of the beach with nicer loungers. Not that the ones we had were bad, but with like padding and like little overhang valley bed kind of things. And that I did notice.
Yeah, it's just some fancy features.
Yeah, fancier.
All right. Oh gosh, the cat just magically reappeared because, well, we had to stop the camera because we talked too long. Anyway, but the 4 levels there, or 4 resorts, are basically 4 resort properties that share sort of the same area there. You've got Coba, Tulum, Akumal, and Cancun. And we talked about this a little bit in the day that we went over and toured Akumal.
Right.
That basically, well, only 2 of them are open right now. Coba's closed, being renovated, right? And Cancun's closed.
They'll be open, supposed to be in April.
April 2021.
1st, I think.
Okay.
Like right around the beginning.
But basically, they share some things, and depending on which one you stay at, you get access to different other things. Now, when I said it verbally in the video, the vlog, I was a little bit off, but here's what I've gathered from their website, is that if you stay at Coba, which is kind of considered the low rung on the totem pole.
It's more of the family resort.
Yeah, I think you get to use certain facilities at Tulum. I think it's...
I think they're changing it.
Oh, you think they're changing
I think that's how it used to work.
Oof.
But what I've seen in the Facebook group is that they believe when they reopen, since Tulum just did this massive rehaul, it's a little nicer now. So they're probably not going to offer that service anymore. Now, we're not 100% sure.
Yeah, true.
But I think you may only be able to use Coba unless you pay for a la cartes at a different restaurant.
Okay,
resort.
so the only thing that I really know for sure from the website is that if you stay at Cancun or if you stay at Akumal, you kind of get to use all 4 properties. Yeah. Tulum and Coba are kind of up in the air because they're going for renovations right now.
Tulum can still use Coba, but Coba cannot use Tulum, except for the beach area, because Coba does not have a beach area.
Right, I think they have a little slip that they can come use in between Tulum and Akumal.
It'd be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah, so right now, like we said, a lot of things are kind of up in the air because renovations and stuff like that. So, yeah.
If you know, let us know.
All right, but things are sort of developing, so I'm going to leave that section alone. We'll call that the end of the sister resort section, so since it could be changing. But if you want use of all of the stuff, Cancun, which is adults only, all of it, and Akumal, which has an adults only section, those are the 2 that you'd probably need to get in to try to be able to use all of the properties.
You can't use Cancun if you're at Akumal, can you?
Oh no, they don't use each other? I believe they do. Their website says, I think their website says Akumal can use Cancun and Cancun can use Akumal.
Oh, okay, I didn't know
But you know, just go read their website, because we are not the authority on what properties
we try to
can
be
use
informative,
other properties.
But that one's a little confusing.
Yeah, so it's a whole lot of words which are like Mayan words. Anyway, I'm going on to the next section now, which is how much was this? Yeah, this is the how much did we pay section.
Oh yeah.
How did we book and how much did we pay? Because everybody always wants to know.
They want to know that.
They want to know our business. Y'all know what I mean? We always usually book directly with the resort, so we did book directly with Bahia Principe. We signed up for the free My Bahia Principe program.
Do that, guys.
It's free, y'all.
It's smart, and you save, and you get some perks, too.
Yeah, which really, on this one, it's mostly you get a percentage off your room rate. It usually ranges from 5 to 10% from your very first stay. You also get free shared airport shuttle transportation. They might offer that to everybody at this resort, but I know the loyalty program does get it. So
and it's important because it is far.
Yeah.
It's pretty far from the airport. It is going to save you a lot of money just to do that.
This one's about an hour and 15 minutes south of the airport. So having a free shuttle, that's a bonus.
Big deal.
So we signed up for the program. We booked this in the middle of October, obviously, to go in December. Yeah. And we got it for $75 per person per night.
Wow.
So $150 per night. Put a little bit of that extra percentage bonus on there for signing up with the club. And our 8-night stay was $1,200.64.
So good.
For all-inclusive, That's crazy.
That is so good.
Yeah, and they did not have any like extra environmental tax, or if they did, it was just worked in already. Because I know we've stayed places before where you had to pay a little bit, like $1 a day tax or something. But yeah, no, that was it. That was total.
Yeah.
So you know what? That's not bad.
And I think even when it's high season, it's still pretty affordable for everything you get. Like, I loved our stay there. I thought it was amazing. Yeah,
not so much like nature and monkeys and junkies, but there was we saw so many animals.
Serekes, iguanas, coati, birds,
raccoons, regular raccoons,
fish, stingrays. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely nature to immerse yourself in if you want.
Yeah, that's true. Another section that we always want to touch on a little bit is tipping, because everybody always says, how does tipping work? Now, when you book, it'll say in your booking that, you know, your tips are included. Because for an all-inclusive experience, I was about to say all-exclusive. An all-inclusive experience, your tips are supposed to be considered included. But we always, you know, bartenders and people who help you out, we always try to tip above and beyond. Usually, you know, right in the moment, in cash, US dollars, right as you receive the service. Like, I know sometimes with cruising, you can do it at the end of your trip and they'll break it down over. But, you know, here, I don't know.
I don't think it would go to the appropriate people if you did that.
Yeah, they wouldn't know who was your waiter, who was your bartender, things like that. So just as you go, like you would on land, you go to a bar, bartender gives you a drink, you know, you give them a tip or something like that. And the amount is up to you. Because a lot of people say, how much do I tip? Well, that's up to your discretion.
Right.
You want to, a guy brings you a drink, you want to give him a $520 bill? Do it. Just do it.
Yeah, they definitely don't expect it. Service isn't any different whether you do or don't, but I mean, it's definitely appreciated, I would say, for sure.
I have a special section in here called Would We Pick Grand Tulum Again?
Heck yes.
But my thinking of this is basically talking about the advantages of staying at Akumal or Cancun versus Tulum.
Yeah.
I feel like we would probably try, maybe at least Akumal.
Yeah.
Because you get so much more with being able to use facilities and whatnot. Because it's, you know, it's almost like you get access to, kind of parts of all 4 resorts at one time.
And Akumal's beach was really pretty.
Yeah. I mean, I love Tulum. And of course, I would stay at Tulum again. But I'm kind of drawn toward eventually maybe checking out Akumal or something. Just to see what else you
can go back to Tulum and hang out.
That's right. Because by booking Akumal, you can hang out in Tulum. You can eat at the food truck. You can go see your Sereke. You can have dinner at Don Pablo's. Anyway. The last section, which we kind of have touched on in the previous video, was the process of flying back and forth to Mexico. So we won't get too deep into it. We talked about it a little more extensively at the end of our last Mexico series, but we did fly Southwest this time.
Yes.
It was very similar to last time with Delta. You get your forms on the plane that you need. You go through Mexico immigration. You get your card stamped. Don't lose your card.
Don't lose your card.
You collect your checked bags, go through customs, boom, you're out.
Yep.
So not bad. When you fly back home, they check your immigration card. Don't lose the card. And your passport. We connected through Baltimore this time.
Man.
You go through U.S. immigration, you collect your check bags. Now, Baltimore had a lot longer walk.
That's why we're like, oh man. It was just a little different.
Yeah. See, when we connected through Atlanta with Delta, you literally went through, you come out of customs, and they took your bags right from your
security. Yeah.
But this one, you had to walk.
Like over half the airport to get where you needed to go. It was a long walk.
That's fine. You walk all the way around the airport and then turn your bags back in with the gate agents.
Yeah.
Then after that, you carry on as normal, just like a domestic flight. There's nothing else to fill out. Now, they did give us the QR codes for the health questionnaires. They gave them to us on the way down there to fill out, to show to the TSA agent. And they gave them to us on the way back to fill out, to show to the security agent. Neither one of them asked for it.
Which is kind of disheartening.
We filled them out. But yeah, the folks, when we boarded, didn't want it in either place. So that was kind of weird. But.
Yeah. I will say temperature screening did happen in Mexico.
Yes.
Not in the U.S.
Oh.
I don't know. There's some strange things. But, you know, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Anyway, but that is all I have for our wrap-up video for Bahia. Unless you can think of any other nuggets of wisdom that people would need to know.
If you go, I highly, highly, highly recommend checking out the entertainment. That was probably my favorite aspect of it. It was so good.
It was.
And don't worry about getting there early. No, if you watch the video. No, maybe you should if there's a lot of people.
Depends on occupancy.
They did such a great job bringing in all different forms of entertainment.
Singers,
and it was all
dancers,
fantastic.
Stinking trapeze people.
Yeah, I loved it.
I know. And now, you had said that you heard they were at something like 23% occupancy or something weird when we were there. Not for lack of trying. This is just because people aren't traveling. But if they're at higher occupancy, they have the system in place already where you do reserve your dinners, you do reserve your activities.
We did that.
You go on the web app and you do that, and we reserved a whole bunch of mess.
Yeah, they didn't check.
I've got a little section here where I know I recorded myself just sort of scrolling through like a daily activity schedule on the phone. Maybe I'll put that here at the very end with some music under it, and you can just kind of see what an activity schedule looks like. But it had a thing where you could favorite activities. Now, the sad thing is we couldn't see what each other favorited.
No.
Like if you used it and I used it, so really the favoriting system was only for yourself. I might actually put the video footage over us talking right now, because then you could see it in real time what's happening. But yeah, but it was still good, and they had stuff on there about, you know, you could do express checkout, you could request concierge service. I think you could order like extra pillows there, request luggage assistance on there. So the web app was very handy, but mostly it was for reserving dinners, which was good, and then reserving shows, which was unnecessary when we were there.
I did think of one other thing that you might put in a different section going back. But,
get it.
So one reason to join the rewards program or whatever is that you can go ahead and pre-book your dinners a week out.
That's true.
Otherwise,
5 days.
5 days.
You do get advance.
And you can request room selection area. Now, that's no guarantee, but you can at least put it in there. But I think if you don't, otherwise you show up and you book it when you get there. So there is that advantage to like understanding, you know, what restaurants you might be having.
Yeah, I think it was 5 days ahead of time you could book your entire stay. So that's fine. I'm just going to leave it right in here. If people,
hopefully you made it to the end. If people
turn the video off, you just missed that nugget of wisdom. That's what happens when you turn the video off earlier, because we are very stream of consciousness. Anyway, but that's good. All right, last nuggets. That's it.
Loved it.
Loved it.
So good. Such a nice place. Staff was phenomenal. Highly recommended.
Yeah, we have enjoyed every single trip we've taken to Mexico so far, and I see more international trips in our future, as well as cruises when cruises come back. So
yeah.
But I guess that is it for this video. So thank y'all for listening to us yammer and yammer. I don't think we yammered quite as long as last time, but you know what? That's okay. If you have not already, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Become a Paromaniac today. Socialize all our media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yep. And until next time, rock on. Go there. Bye.
Okay, bye.